Hey everyone, this is Felix from InventBox, where the solution is right around the corner. In this tutorial, let's take a look at something called Arduino Shields. Sometimes, even though this Arduino has a lot of features, sometimes it doesn't have exactly what we need. Say I'm building a robot that needs more than 2 servos. Well, I'm out of luck. This can only control 2 by default. Well, you could program it and write some more code yourself to be able to handle more servos, but there are things called shields. These two things that I have here beside this are Arduino shields. A shield basically has all of these pins on the bottom, and I can plug them into the Arduino board, and it piggybacks literally on top of it. And you can actually stack different shields like this so that you can have all kinds of devices hooked up to your one Arduino. Each shield has a specialized purpose. For example, this is an Ethernet shield. So it lets you connect to the internet through an Ethernet cable, and it has an SD card here so that you can download web pages and stuff. This is called a danger shield. It is discontinued, but SparkFun Electronics makes this one. It just has all kinds of interesting things to play with. Buttons, sliders, lights, light sensors, temperature sensor, and even some more fun things to play with. As I mentioned, there are all kinds of different Arduino shields. It's not really possible to find a list of every single one of them all in one place, but this company, Adafruit, sells quite a lot. For example, here's a motor shield that'll let you control a lot more than you would be able to control just with the Arduino itself. Here's an RFID for sensing little devices whenever they get near the Arduino, and data logging, GPS. Somewhere on here they have an Ethernet shield. Look, here's one that you can use to play sound. So all kinds of different things you can find shields for. If you need to do something with your Arduino that it can't currently do, I suggest first doing a Google search to see if a shield already exists for it. And usually when you buy a shield, it comes with libraries where they've already programmed how to do all of the stuff that you want. Or if not, they'll have stuff that will really help you get started in the right direction. So let's say we bought this GPS shield. Without looking at any kind of documentation, you would have no idea how to use this. It looks like it has an SD card slot. That must be the GPS. And they give you some pins so you can put your own stuff on there. But how do I actually use it? Well, wherever you buy it, they should have some sort of technical details section, and you can check that out and they will show you exactly how to use it. For example, right here, GPS tutorial page. So there's a standalone GPS module there, and they'll walk you through all of the different specs, and you can move on to what all of the pins do and how to access the data. let's take a look at some code for that danger shield that I showed you earlier. Like I said, this one is discontinued, but it's fun to play around with if you can get one because of all of these fancy sliders and lights and things on it. Here on GitHub, if you haven't heard of this website, it's basically a base where you can download all kinds of code that other people have written and have opened up for free for everyone to use. So you can find all kinds of cool projects on here. And this one, they have created an Arduino file. You can see dangershield.ino. And this is all Arduino code. So I can come in here and copy this and paste it into my own Arduino project. I'm going to hook up the danger shield to my Arduino and we'll see what it does. Here we go. Okay, we've got some things glowing here. Let's try moving this. Wow, a really annoying noise. We can slide this and it increments this counter over here. And it looks like this controls this light here with PWM. All right, that turns that on and off. And if we cover the light sensor, whoa, it goes crazy. It must be afraid of the dark. Now, of course, I haven't written any of this code, but we could look through and see what they're doing. For example, here they have defined all of the different individual segments of that number counter that were on there. We can see that they're analog reading those sliders and that they're using them to change the outputs of some of the other pins. Notice that the slider, for example, the three sliders are on A2, 1, and 0. Let's take a look at that on the board. If we look carefully, we can actually see that a lot of these components on the board are labeled. So this slider is labeled as A0, A1, A2, this is D12, this button, D11, D10. These LEDs are labeled. And then up here, it tells us what these pins all go to. And over here, we can see that they have assigned them to pins here. So looking at example code of how your shield is used is extremely helpful. Sometimes it's labeled physically on the board, and that can be helpful. But you're probably not going to be able to just pick it up and use it without looking up some kind of documentation. And with that being said, I can't emphasize enough, it's okay if you don't know how to do something. That's the point of having the internet and all of these tutorials. Every time I don't know how to do something, I'll just go look it up. And chances are somebody somewhere has figured out how to do it and has posted something that might be able to help me. So never be afraid of what sort of project you want to build. Well, at this point, I think you're pretty well equipped to build just about any sort of a simple project that you would be starting with. I'm going to go through in the next few tutorials some more advanced programming stuff that will help you in writing more efficient code and help you do some more organized things, but overall, I think you guys are about ready to get set loose. If you build something cool, please leave a comment and send a picture or something so that we can see what you've done.